Hey fellow Star Citizens, Scrapchat here. Today I'm going to review the RSI Aurora MR. I'll review her stats, components and costs, the pros, cons, and types of missions I think the MR is good for, and finally give my opinion as to whether to purchase this ship. The Aurora MR is built by Roberts Space Industries. It is a worldwide conglomerate that designs, builds, and sells all manner of spaceships, vehicles, and their required components, as well as some of the oldest spacesuits dating back to our initial exploration of the galaxy. The primary function of the Aurora MR, also referred to as the Mark, in the standard system is to act as an interdiction ship, although it can fulfill other missions in Star Citizen as well. She can be purchased as either a starter pack by new players for $45, or as a standalone ship for $30. In-game, the MR can be purchased at New Deal in Loreville for a measly 184,900 credits. An Argo Cargo costs significantly more, and a Rock DS costs just 10,000 credits less. However, she is not for rent anywhere in the verse. In-game, the MR is listed as a Size 2 light fighter with a crew size of 1 and an inventory capacity of 0.65 SCU. She is 18 meters in length with an 8 meter beam and 4 meters in height. Her combat speed is 147 meters per second with a max speed of 1,212 meters per second. Max pitch is 52 degrees per second. Yaw is also 52 degrees per second. And roll is 158 degrees per second. Hydrogen capacity comes in at 45,000, and QT fuel capacity is 583. She has 2 hardpoints for gimbaled size 1 weapons, and comes stock with a pair of Klaus and Werner CF-117 Bulldog laser repeaters. In addition, there is a single size 2 missile rack hardpoint, which supports 2 Bearing Infrared Marksman 1 missiles. The MR comes stock with a mix of industrial and civilian grade C and D components, and supports 2 size 1 Basilisk Bulwark shields, a Juno Starwork Roughneck power plant, a pair of Juno Starwork Hydrocell coolers, and an RSI EOS quantum drive, although none of these components are accessible to the player. There are 2 paint schemes available for purchase on the Pledge Store for $3 each. One is a green and gold paint scheme, and the other is a light and dark gray scheme. Entry into the ship is from either side, as there are doors accessible from either side just after the cockpit. The interior is extremely small, although it does manage to sport a bed. Visibility out the cockpit is very good. So what kind of missions can the Aurora MR complete? Yep, while it's a tight fit, you can fit your three packages inside the cabin area. I've even stored them on the bed from time to time. The Aurora MR works well as a single person transport to your favorite friendly bunker. There's even enough space in the ship inventory to store the guns you loot from all the hostiles you'll be killing. While I think this can be done, I wouldn't want to do it myself. A more experienced pilot could probably make a pair of Bulldogs work and 2 size 1 missiles, just not me, which is interesting considering the Aurora MR is listed as a light fighter. Its sibling, the Aurora LN, could definitely pull it off with 4 Bulldogs and 4 size 2 missiles. I think I would struggle with the MR. For hand mining and missing persons, the Aurora MR is the perfect choice. It handles well and is small enough to fit inside caves when required. So now let's take a look at the pros and cons of the Aurora MR. You can easily see all your monitors while flying about. I've had several ships where I can only see the top half of the bottom set of monitors without shifting my view. Some of my ships I all but have to go to camera view to see almost anything outside of the ship. Looking at you, C2 Hercules Starlifter. So for a new player, this is a huge plus in my book. Nothing is worse than having to worry about pirates boarding your ship because the only way to board is through a ramp in the rear or an elevator. With the MR, you can select enter ship on the door and you'll be the only one entering. There are several ships such as the Anvil Pisces or Anvil Arrow that only sport a single shield. The MR shines in this regard with 2 size 1 shields that can be upgraded to the de facto standard Gorgon Defender Industries FR66 shield. The MR can rock all the same components as much better ships like the Aegis Gladius and the Aegis Avenger Titan. A lot of ships in the MR class do not have beds. This is an awesome benefit for players who don't want to have to take the time to check in at a spaceport or station. Just log out from your ship and pick right up where you left off the next time you log in. Weapon systems not upgradable beyond size 1 with the exception of the missile rack can be converted to a single size 2 missile. That's a real con. That's one of the big reasons why I decided to upgrade to the Avenger Titan. The ship just could not do anything beyond the beginner, the evaluation bounty missions. So I kind of that was a big con for me, was the inability to significantly upgrade its weapon systems. To say there are some tight quarters is being polite. I know some phone booths that are even larger. Even doing a 3-box cargo run can be interesting. Trying to get all the boxes fitted between the bed and on the floor in that little area is tight. The cargo size of 0.65 SCU is just too small. I understand it's supposed to be a light fighter, but the minimum, if a ship has any cargo space, I think should be 1 SCU. So would I buy an Aurora MR? So the question is, do I buy the Aurora MR starter ship? That was a question I asked myself when I was looking at Star Citizen for the first time. I just purchased a new desktop computer after my 8-year-old desktop had finally given up the ghost. I was looking for a flight simulator to play and decided on DCS, or Digital Combat Simulator, a military-based flight simulator. I had already purchased a World War II Mustang and a jet and was looking into flight sticks when a post mentioned a game called Star Citizen that used 2 flight sticks. I thought, now that sounds odd, but after looking at the pledge store and seeing that I could play for as little as $45, I thought, why not? What's the most I could lose, $45? I played for only a week and loved the game, but realized that the MR was sorely lacking in pretty much every way you can imagine. The good news though is that I could upgrade my RSI Aurora MR to the Aegis Avenger Titan for only $20. I was very happy to do that. Now, knowing all that I went through, would I recommend the RSI Aurora MR? It depends on who I'm talking to. If you've never played Star Citizen and have only watched my YouTube videos, I would say yes, absolutely start with the RSI Aurora MR. It's the smallest investment you can make in Star Citizen, and if you enjoy it, you can always upgrade to a number of other ships, not just the Aegis Avenger Titan like I did. If you participate in any number of the free flies that Star Citizen has throughout the year, you probably already have an idea about whether Star Citizen is the game for you, in which case I would say no, get at a minimum the Aegis Avenger Titan. In my mind, that is the best starter ship if you know you plan on sticking with the game long term. That wraps up my review of the RSI Aurora MR starter ship. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And if so, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss additional Star Citizen content about future releases, ship reviews, and tips about playing Star Citizen. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Scrapchat out.